Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We're on day 2 of our little hiatus quarantine. So I thought I'd make this video to show you to give you some tips and tricks on how you could stay productive during this time, also relax and do some fun things around the house, and also take a moment to review some of the online learning flipped classroom stuff we got. So first things first, I'm gonna show you around my little learning environment. I'm gonna try to flip the camera here. Apparently you cannot flip it while you're filming yourself. So this is my lovely wife, Miss Ellen. You can see she's also working from home. She's got a little workstation up here, and I got one over here, and we got a kind of a shared space right there. So for the first thing I want to talk about is creating some sort of a schedule. These are my notes for the video, all right? You want your schedule to be kind of flexible, not that you have to stick to it forever, but you do want to try to keep some pattern, some rhythm. I know in the emails, when I was emailing your families, they mentioned that they were working with you to set a schedule as well. I think that's really important. I'll show you my schedule, and it's got a little bit of flexibility in it. It's going to keep me productive and accountable, but it's also going to allow me to do some fun things that I normally wouldn't get to do if I was at work. Kind of taking advantage of both worlds, getting what I need to get done first, and then having fun, exploring, doing something fun later. All right, so take a look at mine. I'm gonna try to zoom in here. All right, so I got 6:30 to 8, wake up and work out. That's not exactly what I would normally do when I was working. We'd obviously have to wake up earlier, but I'm keeping that in my schedule. It's something that makes me feel happy and healthy. Then I walk my dogs, something I definitely don't normally get to do if I'm at school, because you guys are in my classroom around that time. But again, taking advantage of the time we have at home. But if you notice right after that, between 8:30 and around 11 o'clock, I'm working on school stuff with you guys. Make some coffee, check my emails, communicate with families and students around 8:30 to 10. If I need some more time, I've kind of built a flexible schedule in here. In between 10 and 11, I'm checking online platforms. If needed, give feedback to you guys. And if I'm done with all this, if I'm able to accomplish this before, there's like, I don't know, 1 million books I'm trying to read for my classroom instruction and to be a better teacher. So I'm going to read for school specifically. Obviously, I have the books I'm reading for enjoyment, but during this time, I'm going to plan to read for school. Some of those books that are going to help me become a better teacher and work with you guys. So after that, though, that's a solid, productive chunk right here, right? Between 6:30 and 11, I'm going to give myself a little brain break. Probably go outside for a minute if the weather's nice, just to make sure that we're getting outside. It is healthy to get outside in the open air. And if the weather's nice, it's really good to open your windows, okay? Not today, though. It's kind of cold and yucky and rainy. All right, then 11:30 and 12, cook, eat, clean lunch. I'm on lunch duty. 12:30 to 1:30, I'm going to take this time in the afternoon to practice an instrument. I know all of y'all took your instruments home. So I'm going to either play guitar or piano. I got a couple of pieces I want to learn on either one or the other. And then after that, between 1:30 and 3, there's going to be my house projects time, right? Clean basement, something I need to do. Landscape the side yard. We're going to got a couple of big projects we're trying to do around the house. And I was planning on doing them during summer, but it looks like I got a couple of weeks to do them now. All right? So that schedule is not totally rigid, though. If I need to check my emails in the afternoon and communicate with your families, sure, I'll pop on, make sure everyone's up to date. Same thing is true for you. You might have something come up this morning and you might have to flip things around. But the point is that I've made a loose general schedule for me. I'm not saying exactly what I'm doing every time. Like, for example, when it says check online platforms, I'm not like listing the order of the platforms, saying you have to check this one, you have to do that one. But I am saying in this general time, you need to be communicating with your students. All right. So that's my daily schedule. It's not super rigid, but it is going to hold me accountable, and it still allows me to do some fun things in the afternoon or even in the mornings, right? I really recommend you try that out. Do it with your family. They'll definitely help you. Second thing I want to talk about is creating a space for you to set the environment for you to be successful. Kind of like we talked about in class, if you're on a diet, where's the worst place you can be? In the candy store, right? It's not so much about your willpower that's going to make you be successful. It's about the habits and the environment you put yourself in. All right, so let me show you my environment, all right? This is where my wife and I normally do work around the house, but the problem is it kind of feels like you're in a little closet, and we both need the same space because we're both now working from home. So what we've done here is she's going to take over this space because she needs the extra computer. Right now she's just working at the kitchen table so she can talk to me. So I took over this little desk here. I moved some notebooks, all my notebooks and my class checklist here, some of the readings I'm trying to do for school. I put here. I got a few books I'm trying to read for school there. I got some pens, some pencils. In the future, I'm going to be making whiteboard lessons to go over math lessons. So I got my markers and my whiteboards. You know, not a lot. I just took a cup out of the cabinet, put some stuff in there, moved some pencils in there. I got all my video stuff right there. You see the GoPro's charging. Right now I'm using my cell phone and all the GoPro materials in there. So I just took, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes and created a little work environment for me, because I know if I don't do that, I'm going to tell myself, you know what? You can be productive in the living room. Look at this comfy couch. Ooh, look at Reggie. He's just big chilling. See, I could probably work right there. But the problem is that my TV's right here. And there's always soccer on, right? And also, there's a Nintendo Switch right there. That's probably going to be a problem. You get where I'm going? So, instead, I chose to make my little work environment right here in the corner. It's in the open. I can get anything I need. And it just kind of sets the space that, hey, when I'm in my little area right here, I'm being productive. If I choose to float somewhere else, that's great. But if I get distracted, you always come right back there. So, find a little space for you to do some work. You don't have to do anything elaborate. Just kind of make a mental note that this is going to be my workstation for the next couple of weeks. Hopefully that's all it is. But until no further notice, this is where I'm going to do my work, right? I got access to whatever I need right at a fingertips touch. So I'm not trying to, tell myself, oh, I need to go get a pencil in the living room and then get distracted by a soccer game and sit down and watch a 2-hour soccer game, right? That'd be a problem. All right, on to the next note. We got create a schedule, create a space. All right, so now what I'm going to do for these next two things is I'm going to probably flip this camera off and record my screen and go over homework and email overview. So I want to walk y'all through the homework that I sent out online just to make sure there's no questions about it. I've downloaded those apps and I want to show you what it looks like on my cell phone, and you could also do it on your computer. Like I said, family members, the directions are kind of incomplete online because the students should be familiar navigating Clever. We've done it many times in the classroom. Kids, we are using different apps on Clever, so that is different, but you should be able to navigate it pretty quickly. I tried to do my best to remove all the clutter apps out of there that we had before and just put the ones we need to use directly. So, but anyway, if you're still confused by that, please send me questions, all right? Okay, so that's everything. I'm gonna turn this thing off and hop on my computer and record that, all right? See you later. Bye-bye.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Is that today?
Yeah.
I don't even know today. All right, let's go find the dogs. You say goodbye to them. Reggie, Roo. Here comes Roo. Reggie's not gonna do anything. All right, guys, see you in a minute. Here we have us on Google, and if you just type in the CCSD Clever login right there, it should take you to this link right here. This is the link that I posted in the email. Now, y'all will need to log in with Clever. You'll need to go down here since you're students. I will need to log in using the Active Directory because that's my teacher side of things. As you can see, I've already logged in. It's going to take me straight to my page. Now, when the students open this up, they will see this page. All right. Oh, cool. You can even see some students over here already logged in. I can see who is working on what, which is pretty neat. Awesome. Esther, Javi, Michaela, Zian, shout outs to you guys. Keep it up. All right. Now, these few apps and links should take care of just about anything that we're going to need. There's Nearpod, which the class code for the activity is in the email, but this link, if you click on it, it'll take you straight there. It's going to keep me in Clever. use Clever to log me in there. Students should have accounts already. This is for me. Your students will have a different page. It'll pop up a different way. But my point is, it'll take you straight to where you need to go. Boom. Right here in Nearpod. They'll have an option to enter a class code right here. And they'll enter their class code, and then they'll be on their way with the activity. They're definitely familiar with that. We also have a link to our YouTube channel. Notice if I click it here, it's going to open up a new tab up in this area. And now it's going to drop us off right on our class YouTube. There will be more videos added the longer we get in here. I'll start putting math lessons here. We can do YouTube Live, all that kind of stuff. But this is our class YouTube channel. Quill is an app we haven't used in Clever, but it's going to offer some great reading and writing specific practice, specifically looking at writing for grammar and conventions. So you can see here I've already assigned some stuff. Class. Where's assignments? My activity, sorry. Clicking on the wrong links. And the students' pages will be much more simple. These are opening up on the teacher pages, but there's two things. There's diagnostics and there's subject-verb agreements, all right? There's a handful of lessons in these, so it's not something I would recommend sitting down doing straight through. It's something that needs to be chunked up over the week. I'll let you just decide how you want to break that up. Freckle is also something new we're trying on Clever, but again, it should take the student straight there, get them logged in and going on that. This is going to have math on it. We are doing some fluency activities, which are just quick flashcard type things just to keep us sharp. The kids will be able to zip through those quickly, and they're meant to zip through quickly. They're just meant to keep us getting those quick recall math facts. Along with, I'm going to do a fractions unit. So we did some... I assigned a beginning of a fraction unit. Now this will differentiate and model to students who need to be pushed. It will push to students who need to review. It will review, same as Quill. But what this is going to do is just start a new unit from beginning. I will continue to try to work on the division units via videos and other things, but this will start us from scratch for the new topic. All right, and one that we'll be starting when we come back. Last two, new ZLA. This has got the text sets. There are quizzes and written like long response, short response questions here. This is an awesome website. It's got current events that are leveled. So when you're sitting down with your kid and they're reading, you can adjust the level of the article. They're taken from like the New York Times, LA Times, London newspapers. They're taken from newspapers all over the world, and their journalists level them for students anywhere between 3rd and 12th grade. Sometimes even lower, but typically 3rd is how low they go. So you can adjust it and challenge however you feel fit. Great website to check out here. And like I said, there are questions and there are written responses for each one of these. Last link is taking you to our class drive. If you click on this, it'll drop you off right here in our class drive where every student's got their own portfolio. Now, in the past, I've had to create documents for students to edit. For some reason, it has not allowed them to edit their own work or edit the document, like create a new document. They can edit the document. If you request editing access, I will give it to anyone who needs it because I can always go in and revert things back to original status. So I really recommend our writing assignments that we do here, your reading log, your reading responses, that kind of stuff. Anything that you could type it up here. It's so easy for us to give and get feedback via Google Drive. It's just easy to make comments on each other's work. And students, as you're commenting, I welcome you and your voice to give each other feedback, but please run it through the gates. Is it necessary? Is it kind? Is it helpful? If it's not those three, then please hold off on your comment, okay? It's easy to lose good feedback in a whole bunch of silly comments. So if you have a comment that is necessary, kind and helpful, please by all means post it on your friend's work. But just kind of, be principled on this website. You can go in and edit each other's work, and mistakes have happened in the past. So double, triple check, be principled. I trust you guys. You'll do it right. Lastly, I think, that might be it. That might be last, all right? So if you have any problems with any of these apps, please let me know. Like I said, I'll give you editing access, or if something's acting kind of funny. Freckle was acting a little funny with me when I was trying to set it up. So if you need anything from my end, I'll just go in and work on it as much as I can. But these platforms are what we're going to start with, all right? This might change. We might decide that Freckle is, like I said, it was acting kind of funny. It might not work at all. If that's the case, we'll do something different, all right? But for the first week, we'll check in on Wednesday, and we'll check in again on Friday. We'll just see how this goes, okay? All right. Send any questions my way. All right, the last thing I want to show you guys before I send you off on your way is I want to explore some of the paper copy activities I sent home. Some of these paper copies will connect to the online learning activities. Some of them can stand alone by themselves. So let's take a look at it one more time before I let you go. All right, here we go. So the big thing you could be doing, first off, is read every day. That is seriously one of the most beneficial things that you can do while we're on this hiatus. Read every day. Fill up those logs. You have enough logs. I sent home enough to get us through 4 weeks. So hopefully it won't take that long. But even over your spring break, take a few minutes and read every day. All right. And next to that, those written reflections. Okay. Whatever you're reading about, write about it. These two together will take you so far. The written reflection questions that came home, they look like, here, there's the reading log. The reflection questions, I should have a copy of it. Maybe I don't. Yeah, I do, right here, boom. All right, these reflection questions, they're much more detailed than the ones we've sent home in the past. Very more thorough, very more easy to respond to. So here's 2 ways I'd recommend that you do the written reflections. One way, if you need to do pencil paper, take your notebook that you just came home, create an open page, and you have a written reflection log that you keep up with as you go throughout the week, all right? Make sure you include the question and the text you're responding to and write about it here. Or you can open up a new Google document on our Classroom Google Drive, follow the link that's at our Clever page. It'll drop you right at the Classroom Drive. If you need permission to edit that, I've tried to share it in a way that should work, but there have been some students who need permission. I will give anyone who needs permission to edit that drive, all right? So you can go in and create your own writing log. Instead of doing it in your paper notebook, do it online, and you can practice typing out as well, all right? So reading and writing every day. I'm not picky. Fiction, nonfiction, news articles, science books, whatever you choose, just get in a book, all right? And take some time to write about it. Then, it's a CCSD Clever account. We've already reviewed that. The other paper copies are the math and science books and the Ohio Studies Weekly, all right? The math book, we're going to pause on, all right? Take a few moments to explore some of the online resources that we've mentioned earlier, all right? Once I get caught up on my editing with the videos, I'm going to start recording myself, teaching some lessons online, maybe using YouTube or something like that you can try to teach yourself, and we'll work together virtually to move forward in our math books. But some of those concepts are kind of hard. We left off in a really weird spot with division, where we just need some really critical modeling and some communication back and forth. So I'm still trying to figure out how we're going to make that happen. Right now, explore the Math Act content online, and then hopefully starting tomorrow, I'll start recording some of those mini lessons, and we'll just do the best we can. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We'll have to try something different, all right? So probably pick up those math books starting tomorrow. We also have the science books. In the email, I've signed, I think, 3 lessons from Unit 6. These science lessons will correspond with the Nearpod code, all right? That Nearpod code is in the email, and Nearpod is accessible via Clever. Last thing is the Ohio Studies Weekly. There are the handful of magazines we sent home that are social studies related. The activities on the back are super critical. They really do foster deeper thinking in the writing and reflection. So please organize that in a space. Again, just like the reading log, anything you have to write out, you are welcome to create a document on Google Drive and type it out. You can type out every activity if you want, or you can handwrite every activity if you want. It is up to you. All right. I will say about the Ohio Studies Weekly is that they fall short of a true story of our history, of our nation's history. So kind of an extension component is if you finish with Ohio Studies Weekly, they do offer a lot of great insight and a lot of great details, but they leave out the perspectives of the Black experience and the African American experience in our country. And they do leave out the Native American experience in our country during our American colonial times. They address it somewhat, but they just don't do it justice. So, that being said, I want you to pair, if you can, the Ohio Studies Weekly readings, those magazines, those print magazines, with the News ELA articles. That News ELA text set I'm using to fill in those gaps that are left out in these Ohio Studies Weekly, and they do offer a more historically accurate and fuller picture of our country during that time. So compare and contrast these two perspectives, right? What is the Ohio Studies Weekly leaving out, and what is being filled in with those News ELA texts? Okay, I think that's about it. It's enough to start off with. If you have any questions, or you're confused by any of my directions, or any of the platforms are kind of finicky, or you need access to edit something on Google Drive, please reach out, okay? This is our first attempt to try this out. Hopefully we won't have to keep doing it for super long, but who knows? So we're gonna take it one step at a time, all right? If anything is not working or you're confused by anything, you have my cell phone number, you got my email address, please don't hesitate to reach out, okay? So until then, stay safe, open your windows, go outside sometime, keep washing your hands, and as always, ladies and gentlemen, I hope to see you soon, okay? Take care.